my name is Amanda and I'm an IT recruiter, and today I want to talk about how you can nail your next interview. Now this is so exciting! You made it through the application process and you finally have an interview booked with the client. Now how do you make sure that you really nail that interview? I have 5 easy steps that you can go over to make sure that you're best prepared to get the position. Number 1 is preparation. Making sure that you have the time set aside and scheduled, you have reminders put in place so that you don't forget, you know where you're going to be, you have space and a secure internet connection, as well as that all your tech is working correctly. This means it's important that a few minutes before, perhaps 10 minutes before your schedule, you have everything tested and set up and ready to go for the interview to make sure that nothing gets in the way of your progress. Tip number 2 would be dress to impress. Yes, most likely this interview will be taking place from your home, but that doesn't mean you should just be wearing a t-shirt or a sweater. Perhaps anything with a collar that shows that you made a little bit of effort, making sure your hair is styled a certain way and that you made an effort to be presentable is going to go a long way as well. Tip number 3 is so simple, it's a little silly, but smile. I've actually done several interviews as part of my position where I noticed that some people perhaps were not in the disposition to smile, but it did come across a little bit cold and a little bit like they did not want to be speaking with me. It made me want to end that conversation more quickly and didn't give us enough time to warm up to each other in order to get that valuable information across. So smiling and making sure that you're being friendly is going to make the other person feel more comfortable and have a better conversation overall. Remember, you're just speaking with a person. It doesn't really matter what their position is. Ultimately, we like to talk to people who like to talk to us as well. Tip number 4 is to go in depth and also stay on topic. At this point in the interview, most likely the interviewer will be asking you specific questions and they want to know a detailed response and to hear what you have to say in depth. They don't want one-word answers where you simply give a yes or no response or a one sentence just right off. They want to hear examples. They want to know that you understood the question and that you're willing to really go above and beyond to give them the best answer. And tip number 5 is to ask a question. Most of the time, by the end of the interviewer will ask if you have any questions, and most often times the answer is no, not right now. While that's perfectly fine, that also means that that's the end of the conversation. If you have at least 1 or 2 good questions prepared, it'll just show the interviewer that you really care about this conversation, that you're interested in learning more about the company or about the work-life balance or about the position. That shows that you're a serious candidate that wants to know more. This gives more opportunities to discuss further in the role and for each of you to gain further insight to see if this match will be a good fit. So always prepare at least 1, if not 2, good questions in advance. Those are my easy steps to nailing your next interview. If you're interested in even knowing how to get to the interview process to begin with, then watch my last video on resume mistakes you want to avoid and consider subscribing for more content. I really appreciate you watching and thank you so much for your time. Take care, bye-bye.